Namaste, I am Archana Raghuram. Welcome back to Temples, Books and Science. Let's continue our exploration of the Lalita Sahasranamam. In our previous video, we concluded our exploration of a powerful set of 6 names, all beginning with Kula, which provided deep insights into the goddess's Kundalini form. In this video, we will dive deeper into this form and also understand how Kundalini rises through the chakras and reaches the Sahasrara. We will begin with the profound meaning of the 96th name, Akula. Akula literally translates to she who is beyond Kula. As we discussed in our last episode, the word Kula holds multiple layers of significance. Within the context of Kundalini Yoga, it often refers to the 6 primary chakras, starting from the Mūlādhāra at the base of the spine and all the way up to the Agna chakra located between the eyebrows. Therefore, Akula, signifying beyond Kula, beautifully points to the Sahasrara chakra, the majestic 7th or crown chakra that transcends these initial 6 energy centers. Akula represents the pure consciousness residing in the Sahasrara chakra. As I mentioned previously, the Sahasrara is considered the abode of Shiva. The Kundalini Shakti in her upward journey through the Sushumna Nadi ultimately merges with Shiva at this very Sahasrara chakra. Thus, Akula embodies Shiva himself, the supreme consciousness residing in the Sahasrara. This brings us to a fundamental and recurring truth within the Lalita Sahasranamam. Shiva and Shakti are indivisibly one. Akula, in this context, is another powerful way of expressing Shiva Shaktyayika Rupini, the inseparable unity of Shiva and Shakti. There is no distinction between the two. They are the two aspects of the same ultimate reality. Now, this is the meaning in the context of Kundalini, but there are several other meanings to this name. Another fascinating interpretation of Akula arises from its connection to the Sanskrit alphabet. Since A is the very first letter, Akula means the group starting with A. So it can also be understood as representing the entire spectrum of Sanskrit letters from beginning to the end. In this sense, Lalita Devi as Akula is Akshara Swarupam, the embodiment of letters, and Mantra Swarupam, the embodiment of mantras. This interpretation of Akula as encompassing all Sanskrit letters directly resonates with the meaning of the 577th name of the Lalita Sahasranamam, Matrika Varna Rupini. This name explicitly declares that she is the very form of Matrikas, the divine energies inherent within each and every letter of the Sanskrit alphabet. Finally, in the context of Advaita Vedanta, Akula means one without any modifications, the unchanging reality. Akula represents Brahman, the immutable ground of all existence, and the very Nirvikara Swarupam, the formless and unchangeable essence. It's fascinating to note its connection to the sacred sound Om, where A is the first and fundamental sound preceding U and This primal significance echoes in Lord Krishna's powerful declaration in the Bhagavad Gita, Aksharanam Akarosmi, among letters I am A. Consider the structure of the Sanskrit alphabet. Every consonant in its basic form is a half letter. To pronounce a full consonant sound, we combine this half letter with A. For instance, take the letter Ka. The half letter Ik combines with A to become Ka, as in Ik plus A is equal to Ka. This principle holds true for all the consonants of the Sanskrit alphabet. Therefore, the vowel A holds a unique and essential position. It is the underlying unpronounced reality that gives full expression to every consonant. Without the consonants remain as incomplete sounds. This mirrors the concept of Brahman in Advaita Vedanta. Just as is the unchanging foundation upon which all consonant sounds manifest fully, so too is Brahman, the immutable reality upon which the entire universe comes into being. It is the silent, pervasive essence that allows everything else to have form and name. Thus, when we understand Akula as this unchanging reality, it beautifully points to Lalita Tripura Sundari as Brahman, the eternal fundamental essence that underlies all of creation. Having explored the profound implications of Akula, the one beyond limitations, the next two names guide us towards the understanding of this ultimate reality. Let's now delve into the 97th name, Samayan Tasta, she who resides within Samaya. The word Samaya carries significant depth. Primarily, it refers to Brahman, the ultimate all-pervading reality. Therefore, Samayan Tasta in this context signifies the one who dwells within Brahman, inseparable from the very essence of existence. However, Samaya also holds a unique and deeply significant meaning within the tradition of Sri Vidya Upasana. When a devotee visualizes the sacred Sri Chakra within their heart center and engages in the intricate process of invoking and worshipping the goddess there, this specific procedure is known as Samaya Tpara. Because Lalita Tripura Sundari is the goddess invoked and adored in this intimate and internal form as the Sri Chakra, she is called Samayan Tasta, the one who resides within this practice, worshipped in the heart as the Sri Chakra itself. Perhaps the most profound and beautiful interpretation of this name lies in the understanding of Samayam. Samayam signifies the state of equality and oneness. The word Samatvam is derived from this term. It is the ultimate harmony where all duality dissolves. Thus, Samayan Tasta also means the consciousness that resides in this state of absolute oneness. What is this fundamental oneness being alluded to here? It is the eternal unity of Shiva and Shakti. This name powerfully reiterates a core principle we have encountered before. The goddess can truly be perceived and understood only in the inseparable union of Shiva and Shakti. The Shakti that permeates the entire universe is Brahman, the ultimate consciousness. This deep and unwavering understanding, the intrinsic oneness of Shiva and Shakti as the very source and substance of all that is absolutely vital for the journey of any spiritual seeker striving for liberation. Following the understanding of the goddess residing within Samaya, we now turn to the 98th name, Samaya Tpara. The term Tatpara signifies devoted to, intent on, fond of, or delighting in. So quite simply, Samaya Tpara means she who is deeply devoted to the practice of Samaya, or she who delights in Samaya. This name isn't just casually mentioning a preference. It's pointing towards a very specific and highly refined way that Goddess Lalita loves to be worshipped. It refers to a very special kind of worship, one that's primarily mental, Manasa Puja, done within the depths of our own being. Think of it as a purely mind-based practice that is at the heart of the Samayachara path. Now, what exactly is this mental worship? It involves the systematic awakening and ascent of our own Kundalini Shakti. Imagine this energy as the goddess herself, gently rising through the subtle energy centers, the chakras along our spine. This inner journey culminates in the union with Shiva in the crown chakra, the Sahasrara. This isn't just a physical process, it's one laden with profound inner meaning. This intricate internal journey represents the ascent of our individual soul, the Jivatma, symbolized by the Kundalini Shakti, merging with the Supreme Self, the Paramatma, represented by Shiva in the Sahasrara. This ultimate union is what we call liberation, moksha, freedom from samsara, the endless cycle of birth and death. This practice beautifully highlights a key principle in Sri Vidya. Shakti, the dynamic energy, the goddess herself, is the essential means to reach Shiva, pure consciousness, Brahman. We achieve emancipation when our Kundalini successfully reaches and merges in the Sahasrara. And the repeated practice of this Samaya Tpara worship is considered necessary to make this state stable and allow us to abide permanently in Brahman. To me, what's truly fascinating is how this practice shows us that the divine resides within us and worship is an inner experience. Our own subtle body, with its chakras and central channel, the Sushumna, becomes a sacred landscape, a temple within us where this entire worship unfolds. Just think about the traditional external rituals, offering water, presenting betel leaves, showing aarti, adorning the deity. In this internalized Samaya Tpara, all these are performed meticulously through focused mental visualization within these chakras. Our very body transforms into a place where the divine resides and the site of this ultimate union. This profound internalization strongly aligns Samaya Tpara with yogic and meditative traditions that prioritize our inner experiences over external actions. Finally, it's worth noting that Samaya Tpara has deep roots in the Vedic and Upanishadic traditions. The Bhavana Upanishad, for example, beautifully explains the core practice of contemplating our own body as being identical to Sri Chakra. This comes from a fundamental Upanishadic teaching that the inner world, microcosm, and the outer world, macrocosm, are connected. What you find inside you is also reflected in the universe. After learning about Goddess Lalita's deep love for Samaya Tpara in the last name, the next few names actually describe this very practice in detail. The next 8 names describe the ascent of Kundalini Shakti through the Sushumna Nadi. It describes its passage through the various chakras until it reaches the Sahasrara chakra at the crown of the head. We begin with the 99th name, Mūlādhāra Nilaya. Now, this name tells us about the goddess's main home, her primary place of residing, which is the Mūlādhāra chakra. Think of Mūlādhāra as a 4-petaled lotus situated right at the base of our spine. It's like the root, the Moola of our central energy channel, the Sushumna Nadi. It's also the fundamental support, the Adhara for the Kundalini Shakti. At the heart of this lotus lies the Madhya Bindu, also known as Kula. This is where Kundalini Shakti rests, often pictured as a coiled serpent peacefully asleep with her face pointed downwards. Kundalini is like a hidden divine potential energy lying dormant at the base of our subtle body, just waiting to be awakened. The term Eka Nilaya, Mūlādhāra Nilaya, emphasizes that Mūlādhāra is the unique and primary spot where the sleeping power resides before it starts its journey upwards. Immediately following the establishment of the Kundalini's base, the 100th name is Brahma Granthi Viveini. This name describes the goddess's first active step in its upward journey, severing the knot called Brahma. Now, the word Vibhedini literally means completely breaking through. Think of this Brahma Granthi as an energetic knot or a kind of psychic blockage located just above the Swadhisthana chakra. In yoga, these Granthis are seen as major obstacles along the Sushumna Nadi that can hinder the free flow of the Kundalini Shakti. They represent really deep-seated attachments and identifications that we need to overcome on our spiritual path. The Brahma Granthi, being the very first one, is particularly linked to our attachment to our physical body, our senses, and the material world. It's what keeps our consciousness strongly tied to this physical plane. So, when the goddess pierces through this knot, we truly begin to realize that we are not simply this physical body and our senses. While we might have intellectually grasped this idea before, this profound detachment can only be deeply felt when the Brahma Granthi is broken through. It's interesting to understand this in terms of the elements as well. The entire universe is made up of 5 great elements, the Panchabhutas: earth, water, fire, air and space. Piercing this Brahma Granthi helps us to overcome the pull and limitations of the earth and water elements within us. It begins to free the practitioner from the influence of Rajoguna, the quality of passion and attachment. Just to clarify one more point here, the Brahma Granthi is located above the Swadhisthana chakra. So even though the Swadhisthana chakra isn't specifically mentioned by name in this sequence, the very act of breaking through the Brahma Granthi implies that the Kundalini Shakti has indeed passed through this chakra on its way upwards. After the Kundalini breaks through the Brahma Granthi, the next significant stage in its upward journey is marked by the 101st name, Manipuranta Rudita. This name signifies that the goddess appears within or rises in the Manipura chakra. Located in our navel region, the Manipura chakra is often visualized as a 10-petaled lotus. Interestingly, Manipura literally means that which is filled with gems, and it's called Manipura because of its effulgence, shining brilliantly like jewels. This chakra is strongly associated with the element of fire, our personal power, dynamism, and the ability to transform energy. Therefore, the goddess's appearance and manifestation within this Manipura chakra signifies a potent activation of these qualities within the spiritual practitioner. Following the activation in the Manipura chakra, the goddess continues her ascent, and the 102nd name describes the next obstacle she overcomes, Vishnu Granthi Vibhedini, meaning severing the knot called Vishnu Granthi. This energetic knot is located above the Manipura chakra in the region just above our heart chakra, the Anahata. Just as Brahma Granthi was associated with our attachment to the physical body, the Vishnu Granthi is linked to a deeper level of attachment, to our subtle body encompassing our mind and intellect. So, when this knot is dissolved, we begin to realize that we are not merely our thoughts, our emotions, or even the life force, prana, that animates us. The feeling of I am the doer, the Kartritva Bhava, is dismantled when Vishnu Granthi is pierced. This Kartritva Ahankara is the ego that constantly proclaims, I do this, I achieve this, I have become this. Piercing this Vishnu Granthi also helps us overcome the pull and limitations of the air and fire elements within us. This step-by-step progression through the chakras and the breaking of these Granthis illustrates a systematic unfolding of our consciousness and energy. By piercing the Vishnu Granthi, we move beyond the limitations of our ego and personal desires, paving the way for the development of qualities like universal compassion and the sense of unity that is associated with the heart center and beyond. After the Kundalini passes through Vishnu Granthi, its ascent continues to a very significant center. The 103rd name describes this, Agna Chakrantaralastha. This name tells us that the goddess resides in the center of the Agnya chakra. Now, the Agnya chakra is often visualized as a 2-petaled lotus situated right between our eyebrows. It's important to note that this chakra is located above the Vishuddhi chakra, which resides near our throat. Therefore, although not explicitly named in this immediate sequence, the Kundalini Shakti in its upward journey passes through the Vishuddhi chakra before reaching the Agnya chakra. Think of the Agnya chakra as the center of our intuition, our direct knowing, our wisdom, and the command center of our mind. Interestingly, Agnya chakra is also considered the seat of the Guru principle within us. These two petals of Agnya are often visualized as the lotus feet of the Guru, representing the guidance and wisdom that illuminates our path. It is also considered the birthplace of words and language, the very source of expression. When the Kundalini reaches the Agnya chakra, there is a profound dissolution of our remaining attachments. The understanding that we are not merely this body, mind, or intellect becomes firmly established within us. We are now fully ready and prepared to merge with the divine consciousness. The goddess residing here signifies the awakening of our higher intuitive awareness and the coming together of our mental powers, paving the way for our final merging into pure consciousness. Following the establishment in Agnya Chakra, the 104th name describes the final energetic knot that needs to be pierced, Rdra Granti Viveini, meaning severing the knot called Rdra Granti. This knot is located in the vicinity of Vishuddhi Chakra, which resides below the Agnya Chakra. So, what happens when this knot is destroyed? Our Upanishads provide the answer. The Mundakopanishad declares, Vidyate Hridaya Granti Chindyante Sarva Samshaya. When the knot of the heart is pierced, all doubts are utterly shattered. This piercing brings about an equanimous vision where we perceive everything as one, the single consciousness principle, Brahman, pervading all existence. Because it grants this absolute clarity of vision, the Agnya Chakra is also known as the third eye chakra. It's fascinating to recall that we began this series on the Lalita Sahasranamam with Shiva opening his third eye and destroying Manmata. Symbolically, this represents the opening of the Agnya Chakra, when all duality, all attachments, all confusions, all ignorance are completely burnt away in the fire of wisdom. It's significant that Rdra Granti, located near the Vishuddhi Chakra, is destroyed after the Kundalini reaches the Agnya Chakra, a higher center of wisdom. This sequence suggests that the clarity and insight gained at the Agnya Chakra provide the necessary understanding to finally release the deepest attachments held within us, paving the way for the ultimate union. Now, the ascent of Kundalini, guided by the goddess, reaches its ultimate zenith with the 105th name, Sahasaram Bjara. This beautiful name means she who has ascended the 1,000-petaled lotus. This 1,000-petaled lotus in the Sahasrara chakra, which is universally recognized in yoga as the very seat of pure consciousness, the abode of Shiva himself. It's the final destination, the ultimate summit for the awakened Kundalini. Interestingly, the word Sahasrara in Sanskrit often signifies not just 1,000, but also infinity, something that is limitless and beyond measure. So, when the goddess as the Kundalini Shakti ascends and reaches this point, it signifies the ecstatic union of Shakti and Shiva. It's the profound merging of our individual consciousness with the vastness of the universal consciousness. In this sublime state, we transcend the limitations of our physical body and directly touch the unmanifest, transcendent reality of Shiva. This is a state of complete, unparalleled and boundless bliss. This immediate and profound result of this incredible union in the Sahasrara is described in the 106th name, the final name of this sequence, Sudha Sarabi Varshini, meaning she who is showering down torrents of Amrita. When Shiva and Shakti unite in the Sahasrara, the illusion of Maya is completely dispelled and all duality vanishes. The awakened soul realizes the profound truth that not only their body and mind, but the entire universe is nothing but pure consciousness. This direct awareness, this realization of our true nature is the divine nectar called Sudha. It is the very essence of immortality, representing supreme bliss, divine consciousness, and liberation from the relentless cycle of birth and death. This downpour of Amrita signifies the experiential reward of this jnanam, this wisdom. It's like a divine grace and non-dual awareness washing over our entire being, a state beautifully captured by Adi Shankaracharya in the Bhajagovindam. Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam Nandati Nandati Nandatteva. He whose mind revels in Brahman rejoices, rejoices, verily rejoices. When a seeker reaches this profound state of awareness, they are known as Jivan Mukta, one who is liberated while still living. Even while functioning through their body and mind, they remain free from its limitations, experiencing the world as a mere appearance, much like a person in a lucid dream. Just as a lucid dreamer knows they are dreaming and remains unaffected by the dream's fleeting ups and downs, the Jivan Mukta knows their true nature as the underlying consciousness from which the entire universe arises. This Sudha, this nectar of immortality, is the key to understanding the culmination of the Kundalini's journey as described in these names. Sudha Sahabi Varshini portrays the goddess as the very source of this liberating downpour, the ultimate reward of our spiritual efforts. This downpour is described as Jnanamaya Ananda Pravaham, a continuous flow of knowledge and bliss, Chidananda. This sequence of names marks an important shift in the Lalita Sahasranamam. You might have noticed that in earlier parts, the names often describe the goddess's grand cosmic form, her battles with negative forces, and her appearances in the outer world. But these names, 99 through 106, take us on an inner journey. They delve into her subtle internal activity within our own subtle body, within our chakras and energy channels. This shift really reflects the core of Sri Vidya and the Samaya Tpara path, moving from outward worship to an inward realization. It emphasizes that inner meditative realization is more important than external rituals. In conclusion, this concentrated section of Lalita Sahasranamam offers more than just descriptive epithets. It provides a dynamic blueprint for spiritual transformation. This ancient map of inner ascent continues to hold deep relevance for spiritual seekers navigating the path towards self-realization and the union with the divine. Thank you for watching and thank you for traveling with me on this journey of discovery. Please do subscribe, like and share this video with like-minded people. May the grace of the goddess Lalita Tripura Sundari guide you on your journey of self-discovery and transformation. Om Shri Matre Namaha. Namaste.